Ciro Oro passed away on January 1, 2026, at just 25 years old in Galicia, Spain. Born in Ferrol, A Coruña, in 2001, Ciro was part of Spain's new generation of actors, appearing in The Messiah, The Rite of Spring, and Jano. At 25, he was just beginning to show the world what he could do. His death on New Year's Day, when the world celebrates new beginnings, is unbearably tragic. Ciro represents potential unfulfilled, talent lost before it could fully bloom. Sverre Anker Aasdal passed away on January 3, 2026, at the age of 81 in Oslo, Norway. Born in Flekkefjord in 1944, Sverre was Norway's theatrical titan, dominating stages for nearly 5 decades. He debuted in 1965 at Den Nationale Scene in Bergen and joined Norway's National Theatre in 1970, remaining there until retirement in 2014. His roles in Bloodsbond, Mio in the Land of Far Away, and the original Norwegian Insomnia showcased his authoritative presence and distinctive voice. Bela Tarr passed away on January 6, 2026, at the age of 70 in Budapest, Hungary, after a long and serious illness. The Hungarian filmmaker was more than a director. He was a philosopher who spoke through cinema. His films weren't watched, they were experienced. Shatan Tango, running 7 hours and 39 minutes, became a masterpiece of slow cinema, each frame a meditation on despair, beauty, and human endurance. Born in Pest in 1955, Bela started with documentary-style social realism before evolving into the stark black-and-white existentialism that made him legendary. Workmeister Harmonies and The Turin Horse followed, each film stripping cinema to its essence: long takes, minimal dialogue, maximum emotional weight. John Cunningham passed away on January 6, 2026, at the age of 93 in Rye, New York. Born in New Paltz, New York in 1932, John represented Broadway's golden age, performing in classics like Company and The King and I, while also appearing in films including Starship Troopers, In and Out, and Mystic Pizza. Married to Carolyn Duke Cotton, John understood that a theater career wasn't glamorous. It was showing up 8 times a week, hitting your marks, delivering lines that become second nature. At 93, John had witnessed American theater transform from Golden Age musicals to experimental off-Broadway, from studio system films to streaming dominance. Renee Nicole Good passed away on January 8, 2026, at the age of 37 in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Born in Colorado Springs, Colorado in 1988, Renee's life was cut devastatingly short at just 37. Details about her career remain scarce, but her passing at such a young age reminds us that death doesn't wait for appropriate timing or sufficient life experience. At 37, Renee should have had decades ahead: career milestones, personal achievements, relationships deepening over time. Instead, Minneapolis became the final stop on a journey that ended far too soon. Every death at 37 is a tragedy of unfulfilled potential, a life interrupted mid-sentence. Eva Schloss passed away on January 3, 2026, at the age of 96 in London, England. Born in Vienna in 1929, Eva survived the Holocaust and became Anne Frank's stepsister when her mother married Otto Frank after the war. Eva's own story was one of survival, resilience, and the determination to ensure history would never forget. She spent decades sharing her testimony, appearing in documentaries like And Then They Came for Me and No Asylum, the untold chapter of Anne Frank's story. Eva understood that bearing witness wasn't just remembering, it was preventing. Guy Moon passed away on January 8, 2026, at the age of 63, following a tragic traffic collision in Los Angeles. The Emmy-nominated composer didn't just write theme songs, he wrote childhoods. From The Fairly Odd Parents to Danny Phantom, his music became the soundtrack to millions of Saturday mornings and after-school afternoons. A jazz musician at heart, Guy brought sophistication and playfulness to animation, proving that cartoons could have real musical depth. Yeson Jimenez passed away on January 10, 2026, at the age of 34, when a private plane crashed shortly after takeoff near Paipa, Boyacá, Colombia. The Colombian music star was en route to a scheduled performance when tragedy struck, claiming all 6 people aboard. Yeson blended Mexican ranchera with Colombian influences, creating a sound that was uniquely his own and resonated across borders. At just 34, he was in his prime, with sold-out shows and fans who sang every word. Thomas Kent T.K. Carter passed away on January 9, 2026, at the age of 69. Found peacefully in his Duarte, California home, TK left behind a legacy that spanned 6 decades of entertainment. He was the roller skating chef Knowles in John Carpenter's The Thing, the beloved Mike Fulton in Punky Brewster, and a familiar face in countless homes across America. Starting as a stand-up comedian at just 12 years old, TK understood timing, understood laughter, understood how to make people feel seen. He turned supporting roles into unforgettable moments, proving that no part is too small when filled with genuine talent. Bob Weir passed away on January 10, 2026, at the age of 78. The founding member of the Grateful Dead, Weir was more than a guitarist. He was a cultural architect who built bridges between generations through music. For 60 years, he traveled endless roads, bringing communities together under tie-dyed skies and unforgettable melodies. Diagnosed with cancer in July 2025, he still performed at Golden Gate Park in August, giving his final gift to fans who had followed him for decades. His rhythm guitar wasn't just accompaniment, it was the heartbeat of American psychedelic rock. Valeria Fedeli passed away on January 10, 2026, at the age of 76. The Italian politician served as Minister of Education from 2016 to 2018 and as Senator from 2013 to 2022, dedicating her life to public service and educational reform. Politicians who focus on education rarely grab headlines, but they shape nations more than those who do. Valeria understood that a country's future lies in its classrooms, and she worked to ensure Italian education could compete globally while honoring cultural heritage. At 76, she left behind a reformed educational system and the knowledge that her work would outlive her. John Forte passed away on January 12, 2026, at the age of 50, found peacefully in his Martha's Vineyard home. A musical prodigy from New York City, John broke through in his early 20s as a vital contributor to the Fugees' Grammy-winning masterpiece, The Score, and Wyclef Jean's The Carnival. He wasn't just a multi-instrumentalist rapper, he was a storyteller who understood that hip-hop could carry depth, nuance, and sophistication. His solo albums, Poli Sci and I, John, showcased his range, featuring collaborations with Carly Simon, whose son became his closest friend. Scott Adams passed away on January 13, 2026, at the age of 68, after battling metastatic prostate cancer. The creator of Dilbert understood cubicle culture better than anyone because he lived it, a bank teller, an MBA graduate, a Pacific Bell employee drawing on whiteboards between meetings. When Dilbert launched in 1989, it spoke truth to power with deadpan humor and a pointy-haired boss who became the symbol of corporate absurdity. At its peak, the comic appeared in 2,000 newspapers across 65 countries, winning the Reuben Award and spawning books, a TV show, and even a line of vegetarian burritos. Claudette Colvin passed away on January 13, 2026, at the age of 86. In 1955, months before Rosa Parks, 15-year-old Claudette refused to give up her seat on a segregated Montgomery bus. Her arrest helped spark the modern civil rights movement, yet history largely forgot her name while elevating Parks. Claudette understood why. She was young, unmarried, pregnant, deemed unsuitable as a symbol. But her courage was no less real. For decades, Claudette lived in Rosa Parks' shadow, only receiving recognition late in life. At 86, she left this world knowing her story was finally being told. Brian Wilshire passed away on January 13, 2026, at the age of 81. The Australian radio broadcaster spent decades at 2GB, becoming a voice Australians trusted, argued with, and listened to religiously. Radio broadcasters build intimate relationships with audiences they never meet. Talking to millions feels like talking to one. Brian understood that conversation, even when one-sided, creates connection. At 81, he left behind generations of listeners who knew his voice better than their neighbors. Australian radio lost a legend, but his voice echoes in every broadcaster who learned by listening to him. Roberta Flack passed away at the age of 88. Roberta Flack possessed a voice that didn't demand attention, it gently commanded it. Known for timeless songs like Killing Me Softly with His Song and The First Time Ever I Saw Your Face, her music slowed the world down and invited listeners to feel deeply. Roberta didn't rely on vocal acrobatics, she relied on emotion, phrasing, and silence between notes. Classically trained yet emotionally raw, she blurred the line between soul, jazz, and pop. Her influence stretched across generations, inspiring artists who valued vulnerability over volume. Patricia Routledge passed away at the age of 96. Patricia Routledge was a towering figure in British theatre and television, celebrated for her extraordinary range and impeccable comic timing. While many remember her for the iconic role of Hyacinth Bucket in Keeping Up Appearances, her career extended far beyond comedy. A highly respected stage actress, she earned acclaim for her work in musical theater and classical drama, winning major awards for her performances. Patricia had the rare ability to make characters both ridiculous and deeply human. Julian McMahon passed away at the age of 56. Julian brought intensity, charisma, and emotional complexity to every role he played. Best known for his performances in Nip Tuck, Charmed, and Fantastic Four, Julian had a magnetic screen presence that made even flawed characters compelling. Born into a prominent family, he chose to define himself through his work rather than his background. His portrayals often explored darkness, vulnerability, and inner conflict, making him a favorite among audiences who appreciated layered storytelling. Julian moved effortlessly between television and film, never limiting himself to one genre. Lonnie Anderson passed away at the age of 79. Lonnie Anderson was a symbol of elegance, confidence, and intelligence in American television. Best known for her role as Jennifer Marlowe on WKRP in Cincinnati, she broke stereotypes by portraying beauty and brains as inseparable. At a time when women were often reduced to appearances, Lonnie demanded respect for her talent and professionalism. Her career spanned television, film, and stage, reflecting versatility and determination. Beyond acting, she became known for advocating fair treatment and recognition for women in the entertainment industry. Richard Chamberlain passed away at the age of 91. Richard Chamberlain was one of the most recognizable faces of classic American television and film. Rising to fame as the heartthrob lead in Dr. Kildare, he quickly became a symbol of intelligence, sensitivity, and quiet strength. Unlike many TV stars of his era, Richard successfully transitioned into serious dramatic roles, earning respect far beyond his early popularity. His performances in Shogun and The Thornbirds turned him into an international star, proving his ability to carry epic, emotionally complex stories. Off-screen, Chamberlain lived with dignity and privacy in an industry that often demanded spectacle. Kris Kristofferson passed away at the age of 88. Kris Kristofferson was a rare artist who mastered both words and silence. As a singer-songwriter, he wrote some of the most emotionally honest lyrics in American music history, including timeless classics like Me and Bobby McGee. His songwriting carried pain, love, regret, and truth, never polished, always real. Beyond music, Kris became a respected actor, appearing in films like A Star is Born and Blade, where his presence felt grounded and authentic. A Rhodes Scholar and former Army officer, Kristofferson chose art over convention, proving that intelligence and rebellion can coexist. Graham Greene passed away at the age of 73. Graham Greene was one of Canada's most respected and powerful actors, known for bringing depth, dignity, and humanity to every role he touched. His breakthrough performance in Dances with Wolves earned him international recognition and showcased his ability to convey strength without loudness. Over the years, Graham appeared in countless films and television series, often portraying complex Indigenous characters with authenticity and pride. He became a bridge between cultures, helping bring Indigenous stories to global audiences without stereotypes. Greene's career wasn't built on fame, but on consistency, respect, and truth. Loretta Swit passed away at the age of 87. Loretta Swit was more than a television actress. She was a cultural icon who redefined how women were portrayed on screen. Best known as Major Margaret Hot Lips Houlihan in MASH, she transformed a one-note character into a strong, complex, and deeply human woman. Over 11 seasons, Loretta showed growth, vulnerability, humor, and authority, earning multiple Emmy Awards along the way. Beyond acting, she was a passionate animal rights activist, dedicating much of her life to advocacy and compassion. Sly Stone passed away at the age of 82. Sly Stone didn't just make music, he changed its direction forever. As the leader of Sly and the Family Stone, he fused funk, soul, rock, and psychedelia into a sound that broke racial and musical barriers. Songs like Everyday People and Family Affair carried messages of unity, identity, and rebellion during one of America's most turbulent eras. Sly's influence can be heard in generations of artists, from Prince to hip-hop legends. He was brilliant, unpredictable, and ahead of his time, living life as boldly as he created music. Terence Stamp passed away at the age of 87. Terence Stamp was the definition of cinematic intensity. Bursting onto the scene in the 1960s, he brought raw magnetism and emotional depth to every role he touched. From Billy Budd to Superman, Terence carried an aura that made audiences lean forward whenever he appeared on screen. He was never confined to one type, playing heroes, villains, and complex anti-heroes with equal conviction. Directors admired his discipline, while audiences felt his quiet power. Shannon Doherty passed away at the age of 54. Shannon Doherty was a defining face of 1990s television, representing strength, rebellion, and emotional honesty. From Beverly Hills 90210 to Charmed, she portrayed characters who refused to be passive or apologetic. Off-screen, Shannon lived with the same intensity, outspoken, fearless, and unapologetically herself. She openly shared her struggles, inspiring millions with her resilience and transparency. Shannon challenged Hollywood's expectations, especially for young women, proving that complexity was not a flaw. Joan Plowright passed away at the age of 95. Joan Plowright was royalty of the British stage and screen, a performer whose talent transcended generations. Trained in classical theater, she brought intelligence, warmth, and precision to every role. Whether performing Shakespeare or modern drama, Joan commanded respect through craft rather than spectacle. She balanced a legendary career while standing beside another giant of theater, Sir Laurence Olivier, yet never lived in anyone's shadow. Even as her eyesight faded later in life, her legacy remained clear and untouchable. Michael Madsen passed away at the age of 67. Michael Madsen was Hollywood's ultimate outlaw presence, dangerous, poetic, and unforgettable. Best known for his collaborations with Quentin Tarantino, especially Reservoir Dogs and Kill Bill, he brought quiet menace to characters who didn't need to shout to intimidate. His gravelly voice and intense stare became cinematic trademarks. Beyond tough roles, Michael was also a poet, revealing a softer, introspective side few expected. He lived a life as raw as the characters he portrayed, blurring the line between screen and reality. David Lynch passed away at the age of 78. David Lynch was not just a filmmaker, he was an experience. His work didn't ask audiences to understand, it asked them to feel. From Twin Peaks to Mulholland Drive and Blue Velvet, Lynch explored the darkness beneath everyday life, revealing beauty and terror in the same frame. He trusted silence, dreams, and discomfort more than explanations. Many filmmakers tell stories. Lynch built worlds that lingered in the subconscious long after the screen went black. Brian Wilson passed away at the age of 82. Brian Wilson was the soul of the Beach Boys and one of the greatest musical minds America ever produced. He heard sounds others couldn't imagine, layering harmonies that felt like sunlight and sadness at the same time. Albums like Pet Sounds changed music forever, influencing generations of artists across genres. Behind the beauty was a life marked by mental health struggles, making his achievements even more remarkable. Brian's music wasn't about beaches alone, it was about longing, youth, love, and vulnerability. George Foreman passed away at the age of 76. George Foreman was a force of nature inside and outside the boxing ring. As a heavyweight champion, his power was legendary, capable of ending fights with a single punch. But his greatest strength came later in life, when he reinvented himself completely. After stepping away from boxing, George returned older, wiser, and calmer, reclaiming the heavyweight title in one of sport's greatest comebacks. Beyond boxing, he became a successful entrepreneur and a symbol of discipline, faith, and second chances. Hulk Hogan passed away at the age of 71. Hulk Hogan was professional wrestling's biggest icon, a man who turned sports entertainment into global spectacle. With his unmistakable look, booming voice, and unmatched charisma, he became a superhero for millions of fans. Hogan didn't just wrestle, he performed, inspiring generations to believe in strength, confidence, and resilience. His influence pushed wrestling into mainstream culture, making it a worldwide phenomenon. While his career had controversies and contradictions, his impact on entertainment is undeniable. Hulk Hogan represented an era where larger-than-life personalities ruled. Diane Keaton passed away at the age of 79. Diane Keaton was elegance without effort and individuality without apology. From her unforgettable collaborations with Woody Allen to powerful roles in the Godfather trilogy, she brought intelligence and vulnerability to every performance. Diane never fit Hollywood's mold, and that became her greatest strength. Her quirky charm, emotional honesty, and fearless choices made her relatable across generations. Beyond acting, she was a director, producer, and style icon who influenced culture far beyond film. Michelle Trachtenberg passed away at the age of 39. Michelle grew up in front of the world, evolving from a beloved child star into a respected actress. From Harriet the Spy to Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Gossip Girl, she showed range, intelligence, and emotional depth. Transitioning from child roles is never easy, but Michelle navigated that path with determination and grace. She portrayed complex, sometimes dark characters that resonated with audiences. Her journey reflected the pressures of growing up in the spotlight while trying to remain human.